Welcome, Wanderer, to Voidhammer Podcasts. The lanterns are lit, the codex is open, and the truth of the realms awaits. Episode 9, The Unstable Shard.
When the Void struck the hammer in its desperate attempt to reclaim control, reality didn't just crack, it exploded. 9 fragments of the first spark scattered like broken stars, each one destined to become a realm. But one fragment was different.
Different how? What made this particular shard stand apart from the others that would become Lightforge, Stormreach, and the rest?
The unstable shard carried too much raw possibility. While the other 8 fragments found their themes, radiance, storm, ice, stone, this one held everything and nothing. Pure, unfiltered potential with no anchor, no identity to stabilize it.
So it was like a realm that couldn't decide what it wanted to be?
More than that, it was a realm that contained every possibility at once. Imagine trying to build a foundation on quicksand that's also on fire, also frozen, also made of lightning. The unstable shard was all potential futures colliding in one space.
That sounds chaotic. How long did it last before collapsing?
Moments. Maybe less. The Archivist witnessed its birth and death in what felt like a single heartbeat. But here's what's remarkable. In that instant of collapse, something impossible happened.
The birth of the Eternal Voyager.
Exactly. From the dying spark of a realm that never should have existed came a being that the Codex could never write. The Voyager emerged not from stability, but from pure collapse. And that's what makes him so dangerous to the Void.
Wait, let me understand this. The Codex can write prophecies about everything, right? It records all that could be, might be, must never be, but it can't write the Voyager?
The Codex writes based on the patterns established during the First Sundering. It can predict the behavior of the 9 stable realms because they follow cosmic laws. But the Voyager was born from a realm that broke those laws.
So he's like a glitch in the cosmic code.
A glitch that became a feature. The unstable shard's collapse wasn't a failure, it was reality's immune response. The universe needed something outside its own rules to eventually heal what the Void had broken.
That's fascinating. So the Voyager carries the essence of this collapsed realm within him?
He is the essence. Every other realm-born being carries an echo of their realm's theme. Stormreach natives have Tempest in their blood. Flameborn carry Emberfire. The Voyager carries pure possibility itself.
Which explains why he can eventually wield the hammer when no one else can.
The hammer responds to identity, not strength. But the Voyager's identity is possibility itself. He can become whatever the moment requires. That's why the Void fears him so deeply.
Let's talk about that fear. The Void has consumed entire realms, twisted kings into monsters, but it's afraid of one being born from collapse?
The Void understands consumption, emptiness, the return to silence. But the Voyager represents something the Void has never encountered. Creation born from destruction, hope emerging from despair, identity forged from chaos.
He's everything the Void isn't.
More than that, he's proof that the Void's vision of eternal silence is not inevitable. The unstable shard showed that even complete collapse can birth something new, something uncontrollable, something that grows stronger through adversity.
And that's why the Void tries so hard to consume him during the Lost Era.
The Void doesn't just want to kill him, it wants to prove that even the unwritten can be erased. For 1,000 years, it feeds on his spark, trying to drain away everything that makes him impossible to predict.
But it fails.
It fails because you cannot consume possibility itself. The Void can take his memories, his name, his past, but the core spark born from the unstable shard's collapse, that remains untouchable.
So when he falls through the shattered gate in the Soul-Forged era, he's carrying this indestructible seed of pure potential.
Exactly. Memoryless, nameless, but still fundamentally unwritable. Still carrying the essence of a realm that chose collapse over corruption. Still representing the possibility that everything broken can be reforged.
There's something poetic about that. The realm that couldn't survive becomes the key to survival itself.
The unstable shard's legacy isn't failure, it's sacrifice. It gave up its own existence to birth something the cosmos desperately needed, a being capable of rewriting the rules that the Void had corrupted.
And this connects to the larger pattern we see throughout the saga, doesn't it? This cycle of destruction leading to rebirth?
The entire Voidhammer saga is built on this principle. The Void's first dream created the first spark. The hammer's catastrophic strike created the realms. The unstable shard's collapse created the Voyager. Even the final reforging follows this pattern.
The Voyager doesn't restore the 9 realms, he forges them into something entirely new.
One unified realm, whole, protected, born from the ashes of everything that came before. The unstable shard's collapse was the first note in a symphony that ends with the birth of a new universe.
So in a way, every other realm that falls during the consumption is following the path the unstable shard showed them.
The difference is choice. The other realms are consumed against their will. The unstable shard chose its own collapse, sensing somehow that its sacrifice would birth something greater than itself.
That's a profound distinction. Destruction as sacrifice versus destruction as defeat.
And it explains why the Voyager's ultimate power isn't destruction, it's transformation. He carries the memory of a realm that transformed its own ending into a beginning.
Which brings us back to why he's called the Eternal Voyager. He's not just traveling between realms, he's voyaging between states of existence.
From possibility to collapse to rebirth to transformation. His entire existence is a journey through the fundamental forces that shape reality itself.
And the unstable shard is where that journey began.
The moment of collapse that became the moment of infinite potential. Every choice the Voyager makes, every spark he ignites, every life he touches, it all traces back to that first impossible birth from a dying realm.
There's something beautiful about the idea that the most unstable thing in creation becomes the foundation for ultimate stability.
The unstable shard teaches us that stability isn't about avoiding change, it's about embracing transformation so completely that you become unbreakable through adaptation rather than resistance.
And that's the lesson the Void never learns.
The Void seeks to return everything to its original silence, to undo all change. But the unstable shard proved that change itself can become a source of strength, that collapse can be the first step towards something greater.
So when we see the Voyager in the Soul-Forged era, struggling with his lost memories and fractured identity, we're really watching the unstable shard's legacy play out.
Every moment of uncertainty, every flash of potential, every time he defies what should be possible, that's the unstable shard speaking through him, reminding the universe that some things are too important to follow the rules.
And ultimately, that's what allows him to reforge creation itself.
The hammer responds to identity, and his identity is transformation itself. When he finally speaks his true name and strikes the final blow, he's not just wielding a weapon, he's channeling the essence of a realm that chose to become something new.
The unstable shard's collapse wasn't an ending, it was a beginning that took eons to unfold.
And in that final moment of the reforging, when the new unified realm is born, the unstable shard's sacrifice is finally complete. Its instability becomes the foundation for a stability that can never be broken.
So when you step back from all this, the unstable shard represents something profound about the nature of existence itself. Sometimes the things that seem most fragile, most doomed to failure, carry within them the seeds of the greatest transformations.
The shard reminds us that collapse and creation are not opposites. They're partners in the cosmic dance. Every ending contains the possibility of a new beginning, if we're brave enough to embrace the uncertainty.
And the Eternal Voyager stands as living proof that some sparks are too essential to ever truly die.
Until the next transmission, Wanderer, keep your spark close. The Void is listening.